Years ago in Jasper, Georgia, at the foothills of the Sharp Mountains, a group of people, similar to this group, gathered together, with one exception. We were presumptuous people. We sat in metal chairs around this raised dais in the middle of nowhere, and we talked about all of our accolades, all of our attributes, pretending to be under the banner of the same purpose. But what we were really there to do is to impress each other. So imagine my ire when this young man, this Bruce Jernigan, this man who was a spike in my brain, walks up to the stage just confident, plainly dressed, no music, nothing. He's standing there confident. And I judged him. I said, this man has no humility, standing there confident like he's got all the answers to the questions that I'm afraid to ask. And I watched him. He walked to the middle of the stage, and he was about an arm's length away from the mic. And I scoffed. I said, And I think he heard me, because he began to scan the crowd. And eventually those brown amber eyes landed on me. And I looked away because I was ashamed. And I watched that hand reach out to that mic stand, and he gripped it, holding it tight out of the side of my eyes. And I said, aha, there's the fear. But something in me said, what if he's not reaching out to hold on to that mic? What if instead he is gripping that mic stand like he's choking the breath out of all of my doubts? And then he moved. Each of those thuds were like a hammer down my spine. It was like a lightning bolt. I could almost see the air crystallizing, like you could see like corners, like it was a rectangle. And his words felt like hands on my shoulders, and they were pressing me down, and they were pulling me forward. And I looked around, and we were all leaning in. He named all of our fears. He gave voice to the bloodstained eyes that shed salted tears. He cracked open our brains and outpoured our fears and our accolades and our accusations. They all melted away. I promise you, it was like a box. It was like a rectangle. And before I knew it, we weren't just listening to his words. We were in it. One people, one pulse, one purpose. Today is an extraordinary day. And you are extraordinary people. And 20 to 30 years, they say, is a generation. So I'm here to let you know that I have 2.5 generations of information, and I am qualified to share with you what I'm going to share with you today. And guess what? I'm not going to give you any theory. I'm going to do like the old church people. I'm going to give you some testimony. I'm not giving you any ideas or far-flung ideas that you don't know how to implement. I'm going to give you the one thing that you need today, and that's a mindset. 3 frames of mind. 3 lenses through which I've viewed the world and watched it twist and shape and transform. 3 stances that I've taken, sometimes trembling and sometimes in triumph. 3 frames of mind, yay even 4. Because the world loves to hand out lessons. Today is offering you 11 revelations. 11. Remember, once the light comes in, darkness runs away. The first frame of mind is the rhythm of patterns. Bruce standing on that stage in that mountain, man, his conversation was fierce. It was physical. And what he was doing that day, and I didn't know this until years later, is he was showing me a blueprint, a cadence of accountability, a pattern, something that I could feel, follow, and affect. Something that I could feel, follow, and affect. And patterns, my friends, you extraordinary people, are power. Did you know that the brain loves patterns? MIT researchers say that our neurons fire in repeating cycles so deliberate that they measure how we walk, how we speak, how we learn, and how we trust. Let's try an experiment. I'm going to yell out a question. It's going to be a simple math question. I heard you say physics. I'm not giving anybody any integral equations today. I want you to answer quick. Ready? 2 + 2 is? Oh, look at y'all mathematicians in this piece. All right, second question is going to be a little bit tougher. You ready? Everybody got their minds prepared? What is the 18th letter of the alphabet? I love my overachievers. I love my overachievers. Let me know if this is a pattern that you might use to find out the answer. And if you know what I'm about to do, join along. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. R is the 18th letter. Now, here's the question. Did we arrive by music? Did we arrive by memory? Or did we arrive by movement? That is the essence of a pattern. It's something you can feel. All of y'all remember sitting in that desk. Oh, hold on, where's my Isaac? Call me an old man. All of y'all remember where you were sitting in that desk where you learned your ABCs? You can feel that moment. All of us knew the song. We was following along. Took you back to your childhood. And we knew where to start and we knew where we wanted to land, so we knew that we could affect it. What is your 18th letter? And can a pattern help you find it? Now, patterns different from repetition. Mr. Chaos back there and I were having a conversation of what repetition looks like. It looks like this. And maybe you've been through this and maybe you're going through it now. It looks like you woke up in a blur and you find yourself sitting at a desk at a job that you've been at for 30 years and you don't know how you got there. You're like in a panic. You go through the day, and by the time you get to the end of it, you don't know how to get out. That's repetition. But a pattern has a beginning, a middle. I don't know if that's the right word. Somebody, middle, and an ending. And afterwards, renewal. A beginning a middle, and an ending, and afterwards, renewal. Now I'm going to give you a method. I know we talked about those lovely notebooks. Take them out. You didn't come here to not get information, right? So I want you to do this. And I already challenged, like I said, my friend, Mr. Chaos back there. Y'all got to meet that young man. He's going to tell you about chaos and order. Write down right now one specific goal that you want to get out of this conference. Don't be generic. I want to make connections. No, I want to help find somebody who can help me with the accounting portion of my business. I want to find somebody who's going to show me how to manage and train my associates. I want to find somebody who's going to give me some podcast guests. Be very specific. Now, here's how you're going to develop that pattern now that you have your goal in place. There are going to be 3 breaks during the course of the day. 4 for some of those who drink too much coffee. But there's going to be 3 breaks during the course of the day. This is the development of the pattern. On the first break, whenever you go, I want you to say your goal to yourself with your physical voice. I want you to feel your jaws working. I don't want you to feel this portion of it. Don't say it in your brain. I want you to say, I got to find podcast guests. I got to find the person who's going to help me with that kind. Say it to yourself in a whisper. And if you don't breathe into somebody's face, but if you just say it. Secondly, once you say it, during each of these 3 breaks, take one action to make it happen. This is the hollow fork here. You're going to stand out a bit. Might sneak out the door, make that phone call. You're going to introduce yourself. You're going to get your blink set up. I think some do that already. So that way you can pass out your contact information. But more so, you're going to also plan to follow up so you can affect it. What good is there if you get a stack of business cards and no calling anybody? Don't reach out. No, get the information that's deep. You came here for a reason, bro. Make sure that you're bro. That is the essence of the path. Second frame of mind. The rhythm of timing. I found myself disobedient sound. Sitting at my mother's hit table. I sat there a lot, think about it. Mashed peas in the wood, syrup stains, tinker toys. The toy you play with for the other crowd. My mother was telling me all the things that I did wrong and why the timing wasn't right. And she slapped this big old Bible in front of me, black with those gold leaf pages with the oniony feel to it, and opened up and said, for to read Ecclesiastic 3:1. And I said to every season, there's a time. And a time for every purpose under the heaven. An 8-year-old, he said, Mama, what that mean? She said, boy, there's a time and a place for everything. Let me tell you what timing looks like. And Brianna already shared this with you. Timing is an exact idea with an intentional action for a specific purpose. The trap is that we will hear exact ideal, we hear the right ideal. The trap, when we hear the specific purpose, we hear we want to make money. Those who become trapped by the right answer instead of the exact answer stop because they can't find the right. They never begin. It's not right. The one who's at the end and looking for the specific result, if they don't make that $1 million in that first week that they planned on, they quit. Let's talk about Big City. Y'all know what Gig City is? Chattanooga. Who said, come on, man, you A+ student. And he was a school football doctor. Gig City. Y'all know in 2010, during the recession, with Obama era incentives, Chattanooga was able to upgrade their entire internet service. Larger businesses came to the city because they wanted to find those great smaller cities. And Chattanooga was poised with their timing to take full advantage of it. 33 seconds to download a movie that's 2 hours in this city. In any other major city is 25 minutes. So I better not start buffering in Chattanooga at all. What method can we use today to start managing our time? I like to call this method the pause impulse. I said the pause impulse. I said the pause impulse. Take 5 seconds, 10 seconds. We're going to be limited. 10 seconds is a max. And I want you to think about one opportunity that you've missed. You regret it. Why didn't I choose that? Or either one opportunity that you no, I gotta, oh, I don't know, Lord. But you know it's sitting in front of you. Think about that opportunity or that opportunity that was in the future that you said, maybe. Identify it in the pause, the time and the spaces in between. Then I want you to pause because timing is not just thinking, it's a strike. I want you to take the time today to decide. Now, that doesn't mean you have to do it. The decision not to do it is a decision. But decide, take the action, and move on with the thing that you want. An exact ideal with an intentional action for a specific purpose. Everybody with me? Anybody need to breathe, fan yourselves? Everybody good? Third frame of mind is the rhythm of precision. He's not Kitsta, but the third member of the Brotherhood, as Nelson called it. I don't know if he want to say, man, say Brother Kev. Brother Kev was one of the co-founders, if not the originator, of a poetry organization at the MTSU campus called Soul Generation, of which Vincent and myself had the opportunity to be a part of, to inspire, to found. And we decided to have a poetry slam or a poetry contest, and we wanted to select the building at MTSU, and all they had for us was a nurse's room. Stethoscopes, beds, masks. It was the full setup. And we sat there like students, ready for the professor. And Kev doubled not only as the professor, but the one who was there to dissect a cadaver. This poem that he laid out, he stretched that thing out, giving us the title of that poem. And he began to slice away layers at a time and unfold these double entendres and this word play. And this thing seemed to go on for 1,000 years and 30 seconds at the same time. He was so precise. His cuts were so exact. All we could sit through was being awe. And right when he got to the end of the operation, this man turned around to the palace and that is only the title.
2.5 Tennessee. Let's spin.
All right, so let's try an experiment. If I want to indicate that I'm traveling somewhere, do I use the word further or farther? Do I use, don't pretend like somebody better answer. Further or farther? We're traveling distance. Farther? Who said father? Farther. It's a very precise, accurate words. All right, second experiment. If I want to change the result of something, am I trying to affect it or effect it? Am I trying to affect it or effect it? Look at it. I hate this. This one. Affect is influence. Effect is suck. But if we understand that the decision, so this is how you're going to apply the method. Precision is the exact tool for an exact action. It is the exact tool for the exact action. You don't need a hammer if you're going to train your associates. But some of us use that. Why? We don't need to pour money into a sinkhole if we want to feel the work. Precision requires you to follow Nepper. I call it the clear current. We're going to all practice it right now. You got tools. You're going to have the right tools to put that. Clarity current. Now, you already have one goal. Even take a secondary goal if you like to. But take some time to write down or either use this for your first goal. Once you have your goal, show me your hands. You got your goal. Everybody got it? Who ain't got no goals today? What's wrong with y'all? Come on. All right. So now you want to take that goal that as you wrote it, and I want you to go down one more level. Be more exact the second time. Now your goal is, I want to meet people. Now your goal becomes, I want to meet Vincent. I want to meet people drops down to, I want to meet Vincent. Make it more exact. All right, we're going to go a third round. Now that you want to meet people, you want to meet Vincent. Now you want to meet Vincent and have a one-on-one. You got to go down to that third level. And honestly, you want to dig down like Kevin did, as deep as possible and as exact as possible, because when you get to the bottom, you will find the simplest solution and the easiest action with the simplest tool. Oh, Bruce taught me about patterns. Something that I could feel, follow, and affect. My mother at that kitchen table. And what if I called it the table of timing? Where we time our meals. Where we sit down at when it's time for our homework. Or lately, where we sit at that table and decide whether we're going to be able to keep our staff. Or whether we're going to have to change our prices or even sell our businesses. No, mother gave me that table of timing. And Brother Kev gave me that precision, the right tool for the right action. I'm going to try to put all these together, y'all, but I'm old. So we're going to see if we can do this for you right now. This is what they all look like together. Now I know what Rakim said when he said, I'm going to drop the mic when I'm finished and watch it smoke. I apologize if this is a bruised mic. Lastly, because I told you yay before, it's resilience. Resilience is easy to say, but difficult to define. We think that resilience is bouncing back. You ain't seen bouncing back. You suffered a trauma. You told a friend you're healing, and they're wondering why you're still hurting. You're not resilient. You ain't bouncing back. You got a thought on your brain, something's harmed you in such a way, you can't share it with people. They want you to be the same old person who's laughed and joked, but you ain't bouncing back. You are not resilient. Resilience is the step at the end of the pattern. Resilience is renewal. Resilience is enduring the pain of losing someone who you love dearly, but embracing the hope that in the future you can love it. Resilience is losing that business that you had and you put all your life savings into it and you're hurting and you're going through pain, but you are not stopping the work. You say to yourself, I have lost, I am broke, but I'm not a loser and I'm not broken. One more step. I'm going to try to do this without the mic. It's last thing. Am I loud enough? Yes, sir. What's wrong with that man? Magnify. Bruce, on top of that mountain, speaking to us, the people gathered together in the foothills of Chattanooga for one purpose: to do more than survive, to thrive, to multiply our impact through the rhythm of patterns, timing, and precision. If it was a song, it'd sound like this. Might be off key. You got it. But I want to be resilient. Yeah. There will be mountains that I will have to climb, and there will be battles that I will have to fight.
Sing it, Don.
But victory or